Good morning, everyone. Morning. It's a true honor to be here. I appreciate this opportunity to have this time to speak with you. Thank you, President Knapp, for having me, and obviously for hosting this very important forum on food policy. Also, thank you for giving me this opportunity to get off of Capitol Hill and to come down here and talk about something that actually, unlike politics, makes us smile, and that's food policy. And I guess, as I'd like to say it, it's getting out of the swamp and being able to talk about the farm. So thank you for this opportunity. I am Jimmy Panetta. I represent the 20th Congressional District of California in the United States Congress. That area is located on the Central Coast of California. And I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that for a number of reasons. Most importantly, it's my home. It always has been, it always will be, and my roots run deep in that area. My grandfather, an Italian immigrant, came there back in the 1930s. He opened it up and ran a restaurant, and he and my grandmother raised my father and his brother in an area with all the other Italians called Spaghetti Hill. What else would it be called? He eventually made some good money during the war years, and he bought a walnut farm out in Carmel Valley, about 15 miles from Monterey. And that is where my father and my mother chose to raise myself and my two brothers on that same walnut farm. And now my wife and I raise our two daughters in my same hometown. They actually go to the same schools I went to. Thank God they don't have my same teachers. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because I know they're going to have the same sense of pride and the same sense of service. And I was always instilled with that sense of always serving. And it was because of the stories we heard about the risks my grandfather took to come to this country and the reasons why, to give his children and grandchildren a better life, essentially the American dream. In our household, though, we were told, look, because you were allowed to live the reality of that dream, then you damn well better give back to the country and community that gave you so much. So that's why I've served. That's why I've served. And so I feel that no matter where I'm from, I would have always served because of my family. But I have to say, being from the Central Coast of California makes me serve with a very big smile. It is, as I like to say, one of the most beautiful districts in the nation. From the beautiful coast of Big Sur and the Monterey Bay, but also because we have one of the most bountiful districts when it comes to agriculture. We have the abundant Salinas Valley that produces close to $9 billion in agriculture every year. It's no wonder why it is aptly called the salad bowl of the world. It's a deserved title. Yes, because there's so much fertile farmland, but also because we have so many crops. In my district alone, my Tri-County district, we have more crops in that area than any other single state. Hundreds of crops. You name it, we got it. From spinach to lettuce, from Brussels sprouts to broccoli, from artichokes to apples, from strawberries to raspberries, from wine grapes, and yes, to walnuts. We fill the shelves of your grocery stores, from Walmarts to Save Marts. We fill the juice bars that you see popping up on many corners nowadays. And we fill the salad bars that you have in your cafeterias, but more importantly, that your sons and daughters have in theirs. As we see it, the Central Coast growers, shippers, pickers, and packers, it's their job to provide our nation with some of the most nutritious food out there. That is a great amount of responsibility. There's no doubt about that. But let me tell you, that leads to great opportunities, from economic opportunities for our farmers, research topics for scientists, educational experiences for children, nutritious options for consumers. And yes, the chance for farmers on the Central Coast of California to be leaders when it comes to meaningful innovation and sustainability in agriculture. But in order to continue to be in that position, a few things need to be done. First and foremost, Ag research needs to be a priority in the federal budget, agricultural research. Now, in Salinas Valley, we are fortunate to have a USDA-funded research station. I actually visited that station just last weekend. And you should see this place. It's amazing. We're actually going to add one building. But what I found more impressive is that you should see the scientists that work there. These scientists love what they do. And thank goodness that they do it. They focus on improving specialty crop varieties, advancing environmentally conscious pest management, furthering organic agricultural production, and ensuring food safety. Our farmers not only need that type of help, I believe they deserve that help in improving production practices, especially in the face of demanding conservation, difficult regulation, and as we all know, an ever-changing climate. As a representative of that area, as a member on the Agricultural Committee in the U.S. Congress, and on the Research Subcommittee of that Ag Committee, I will push to provide for the funding for the necessary scientific advances so that our growers and shippers have the most efficient, economically, and environmentally sound tools available. But those sound tools just can't rest with scientific research. It has to be with technology as well. Now, yes, the sun shines on Salinas Valley, but the Salinas Valley is also located in the shadow, thankfully, of Silicon Valley. And we are working on many ways to bridge those two areas. This week, right now, this week, there is an Ag Tech Forum in Salinas, as we speak this morning, bringing together tech and ag companies, bringing them together to work on sustainable agriculture. Obviously, they're working on ways to reduce water usage, from lysimeters to drones to cell phones that monitor how much water you use, and of course to making advances in drip tapes. But let me tell you, we must work on ways to help them deal with the reduced labor force. That's necessary. Now, I mentioned a bunch of specialty crops. What you need to realize in those types of specialty crops, you just can't send a machine through that field to pick those crops. It takes, most of those products go right from the field to the shelves of the store. So it takes a human sight, sense, smell, touch to see what is an aesthetically pleasing product that will go right on the shelf of a store. And right now, the technology hasn't caught up with that. And that's why we need to work with Silicon Valley. We need to work with private companies to deal with the shrinking labor force. And I think we saw a good reason why there is a shrinking labor force, politically, culturally, economically, not just in our country, but in Mexico as well. And we need to be able to deal with that. And that's why the government needs to support funding for that tech research, but also needs to support private companies who are working together with our private farmers to make sure that they come up with those tools for our agricultural industry. Because I think you know, and I think one of the reasons why you're here, is that when we help our farmers, we help all of our communities, be it rural, suburban, and urban. By equipping producers with effective research and technology, we increase overall access to the nutritious products, particularly in some of our society's most vulnerable areas, and our most vulnerable, be it children, be it seniors, be it those living on fixed incomes. I'm also on the Ag Committee's Nutrition Subcommittee, so I look forward to promoting access to fresh fruit and vegetables through a number of programs like the school breakfast and lunch programs, expanding farmers markets that we see popping up everywhere, and many other better ways to connect consumers to producers. And fortunately, what I'm seeing, and I'm sure what you're seeing, that type of support for that type of connection, it's everywhere. It's at all levels. In my district, you saw ag companies realize that the people who are out there helping them pick their products, they're not eating their products. They're not healthy. And so they realize it starts with the children of those men and women who are helping them. And so what did these companies do? They came together and provided over 1,000 salad bars to schools in that district. providing the actual salad bar itself and all the fixings. In California, we have what's called the Thursdays Initiative. It's a partnership between the Center of Eco-Literacy and a network of California public schools, where their goal is to provide students with nutritious meals from locally sourced ingredients every single Thursday. And we see it right in this room, as all of you are here to address the social and environmental issues relating to our agriculture. And that is why I am honored to be here, because I look forward to learning about your work dealing with our future food policy, because your work helps my work. And that is why I'm proud, because together, when we help our agriculture, we help the future of our food policy, and we help the future of our families throughout our nation. So thank you.